To get started on our chicken and dumpling soup, I like to actually dice up all of my ingredients before I get started. This recipe is very easy and you only need a couple ingredients. I will link the recipe down below so you guys can print it and cook with me as well. So to get started, you can be using a pot, or I'm going to be using my Dutch oven here. I love using this. This one's actually new and I picked it up at Home Goods, but I'm going to be cooking the chicken. I used 3 chicken breasts and chopped them up into little pieces. We're going to cook those down and then set them aside. One of the things I really would suggest is if you do this in a crock pot, it's 1 pot. So you don't have to use 2. It's really simple. On all the little brown parts, the little brown bits that you have from the chicken that stay in the pot are actually really good seasoning later. So make sure you leave all that in there too. Once your chicken is fully cooked, go ahead and put it in a bowl and set it aside. Then we're going to add in our carrots. I want to cook those down for a little bit before I add my onions. I like to add butter, or you can use olive oil as well. I'm going to be using about 6 tablespoons of butter in this dish, but it really does give it a wonderful flavor. Once you've kind of cooked the carrots down, add your onions in. I used about a whole large yellow onion. I want to stew that down before I add my garlic. I add the garlic in about 1 minute before I add in our flour. I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of butter, melt that down, and then I'm going to be adding in about 1/4 cup of flour. I will definitely link the recipe below with all my measurements, but this is going to create a roux, which is going to give the soup so much thickness and texture, and that's the part that like sticks to your body on the inside. It is so good, and the flavor is amazing. So once you fold in the flour, you want to make sure all the flour is well incorporated. That's what the butter is going to do when they mix together, but you don't want any of the white flour kind of still lingering. Everything has to kind of smash up, and I'll show you here what it kind of looks like when it's all mixed together. Once your onions, carrots, garlic, and flour and butter are all well incorporated, we're going to add our chicken back in and give that a good mix. Once that's done, we're going to be adding 6 cups of chicken stock. You can even do better than bouillon. It doesn't really matter, but I use chicken stock, makes it super easy, and we're going to bring that to a light simmer. Once you brought up your soup to a light simmer, go ahead and add 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and put the lid on. We're going to let that sit for about 15 minutes. What I like to do is continue to kind of mix this up because you'll see the butter kind of rises to the top. The other thing we need to do is season our soup. I'm going to be adding in all of these little brown bits that cooked on the side. It just gives it just the most wonderful flavor. I'm going to be adding some bay leaves, a little thyme, some salt and pepper. We're going to add in our peas. I like to use frozen peas. These are super easy, or you can use fresh peas. I use about 1.5 cups in this recipe today. Give everything a nice mix, and then we're going to move the heat to a medium, kind of like a medium low. Put the top on and wait for about 15 minutes. While that's on a simmer, we're going to start our dumplings. I'm going to be using 2 cups of flour, about a tablespoon of baking powder, and then you can season these or not. I like to season mine with a little bit of oregano, and then I have a nice blend that I use with my Cabernet spice I love, but then I'm going to be using some salt and pepper. Mix that all up, and then in the middle I'm going to be adding 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, depending on how much you're making. So I will put the link down below for my dumplings, but I usually use about 1/4 cup. Mix all of that up until it's in a nice ball. Then we're going to dump them right into our soup and bring that up to a boil. So for my dumplings, I like to actually use a little ice cream scooper. I'm going to just scoop these out, put them in little balls, and then dump them right into the soup. I wanted to make some nice flaky biscuits, and I'm going to be doing a green salad with tonight's dinner as well. But you can put anything on the side you like. Even though it has dumplings inside, I still like to have my flaky biscuits to put inside as well because it's just so yummy. Before I add my dumplings, I do want to go ahead and remove as many of the bay leaves as I can, but I leave a couple in at the end, and I'll grab them before we go ahead and serve this. But this is about how big I make them, and I just dump them in. I try not to let them touch, and you'll see that they kind of rise up, and then you break them apart with a spatula before you actually get to serve them.
Thinking alone with my drink as I do.
I'm going to add a little bit of fresh parsley to this, and then I'm also going to garnish the soup before I serve it to the family tonight, but I wanted to show you how everything turns out. I love these dumplings, how fluffy they look. I can't tell you how much I love this. Tell me in the comments down below if you guys have had dumplings, chicken and dumpling soup before, or if you like it.
When I'm sitting here drinking, I can't help but think about you, about
I like to add a little bit of butter to the top of my flaky biscuits. I just think this is super yummy, and I also put like a tiny bit of salt on it as well. I wish you guys could smell this soup. It is so good. When I was cooking, my husband came home from work and was like, "What are you cooking? It smells so good." I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you are new to my channel, I do a lot of cooking and decorating here, and I would just be so honored if you would subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and definitely be on the lookout for the next video I have, because we finished the kitchen dining room, and I also have a Christmas home tour coming up and a couple more decorate with me's, and then we'll be cleaning up and getting ready for a brand new year. I will also link below my 2022 30-day challenge to kind of get our mindsets ready for a new year. But thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I don't blame you if memory fails you, but I must admit I am thinking